So you've missed a few workouts and now you're ready to get back on track with your training plan, but you're not quite sure how you should do so, whether you should jump in where you left off, whether you should take some days of lighter recovery days, lower intensity, lower volume. Well, the answer to your question really depends on, number one, why did you take time off? The three reasons people take time off primarily are due to their vacationing, they're ill, or they're injured. Okay, so let's talk about being injured. If you've taken time off, how much time have you taken off for the injury? Is it just a few days or is it a few months? Coming back after a stress fracture injury is different than coming back after maybe some tendonitis or twisted ankle, or maybe you fell off your bike and you have a few scrapes and road rash on your body. So the type of injury and how much time you took off will dictate where you should jump in the training plan. Generally with an injury, you want to make sure you cut way back on the volume and really cut out all intensity when you're coming back after an injury, and start back very low volume, low intensity, and that'll be determined if you had 1 week off, 2 weeks off, 1 month off, 2 months off. Make sure you follow the guidelines of your doctor, your physical therapist, who's ever treating you for the injury. Make sure you follow those guidelines on your way back to health. If you've taken time off due to illness, again, the guidelines for illness is if you have like a cold or something that's above the neck, generally you can still work out, just cut out intensity and keep your workouts light. But if the illness is below the throat into your lungs, then you are going to need a lot more time off. And when you come back, again, it all depends on, did you take 1 week off, 2 weeks off, or more? If you've taken a week off due to illness, my recommendation is to take the first 2 or 3 days, cut out the intensity, maybe cut the volume down by about 25%, assess how you feel, keep a log about how you're feeling, assess how you're feeling on day 3, and then maybe resume normal training as in your training guidelines. If you've taken more than a week off due to illness and or injury, I would really go back to where you were. So let's say you took 2 weeks off. That's kind of a lot in the progression of your training plan. So it's probably best to go back to the 2 weeks of when you first took time off. So let's say it's the 15th of the month and you stop training on the 1st of the month. You probably want to go back to and repeat those 2 weeks that you missed so you can continue on with the progression of your training plan. And again, the volume and the intensity are going to matter. Are you in your preparation phase? Are you in your volume building phase? Are you in your race specific phase? That'll really factor into how you should proceed. But it's definitely error on the side of cutting out volume, maybe 25%, and definitely backing off on intensity, keeping good log notes about how to progress. Now, if you've taken time off due to vacation, usually your body's all recovered and recuperated. So my guideline would be to probably get back on track with where you left off because you weren't sick or injured. Although sometimes when you come back to a vacation, you need a vacation from your vacation due to travel. If you took like a 24-hour flight somewhere, you're going to be exhausted even though you sat and did nothing for 24 hours. That's often more exhausting than doing a 24-hour event. So again, all these rules and guidelines, no matter what, all depend on what phase of training you're in, why you took the time off, and always erring on the side of coming back slower than you think you need to, and seeking out the guidance of your coach or your doctor or who's ever guiding you on the path to keep you on track with your training progression. Definitely on all these scenarios, unless you only take 1 or 2 days off, you don't just jump in back into the plan of where you left off. Those are only on a case-by-case basis. Let's say you missed a day because you had to work more or you had just other life issues get in the way and you only missed a day or 2 of training. Well, in those cases, you just want to jump into the plan where you left off and you'll probably feel great because you probably needed the recovery anyways. Recovery is part of training. If you have any questions, comment below. Otherwise, make it a great day.